Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about the 3 takeaways we have gotten so far coming from Xavi's FC Barcelona. There has been many things that we have learned about, but I have broken this down into just 3 different points that do need to be discussed, and especially after that match between Barcelona and Real Madrid. And let me tell you guys, after that match between Real Madrid and Barcelona, I have never been more optimistic about this team. Like, many players have returned. The identity in this club is so clear. We look like we can actually compete well. Our foundation is very strong. So there are many reasons on why we should be very optimistic with this Barcelona squad. And I do think that now seeing this Barcelona team, we are just one transfer window away from truly becoming a top team in Europe. We just do need the patience, and we also do need the understanding on where Barcelona is and what they could become based off what we have seen. And again, that match against Real Madrid, it was the greatest example. So now I do think that moving forward for the rest of this year and the next 6 months, our goal, our main priority is to make it to the top 4, because these players have shown that they are capable to do that, and they have especially shown that they have the character to be the best team in Europe. But it is going to be taking some time. We are going to be seeing a few more stumbling blocks before we get into that moment where we are going to be one of the world best. So again, this is going to lead us towards our takeaways so far from this Barcelona from Xavi Hernandez. They're going to be key points. It is going to give us more clarity on what does need to be fixed. And let's first start with number 1, and that is going to be the wingers. The wingers do need to take more responsibility, and Xavi did say this the best after the match against Real Madrid, and I quote, "We have to be more responsible with the ball, especially the players in the front," which is facts. Like, this is true. Like Cristiano did say, factos. One of the biggest problems that we did see coming from that front line was they lose the ball too much and they act like nothing was going to happen right after. That was one of the reasons on why Real Madrid were able to counterattack Barcelona so much, and why we felt like Real Madrid was going to score based off that counterattack, because we looked so exposed. And one of the players that I am going to be talking about, it is coming down to Abde and Dembele. Barcelona have to improve those 2 wingers. Now, I know it does seem like I'm targeting Dembele. I know it did seem like in the previous video I was especially targeting Dembele, but I'm not saying that he had a bad performance. I'm not also saying that he is a bad player. What I meant was that this was a player that did put on a monster performance. He was the most dangerous player for Barcelona on that night, but he did have a few flaws, and those few flaws made a big, massive impact on Barcelona's defensive game that led sometimes towards either Real Madrid finding a big goal scoring opportunity or a goal. So his decision making does have to be better. He needs to know the environment that he is in and what decision to make. And I'm going to give you guys some examples so you guys can know exactly what I'm talking about. You look at Abde here, you can see that he does have the ball on the right flank. He has all the options in the world to either pass it behind or across the pitch, because there was no way he was going to be able to progress the ball down that right flank by himself, and he puts himself in a 3v1 situation. He loses the ball, and now Real Madrid, looking at the players and where they are standing, they were very ready and prepared for Abde to lose the ball and go on the counter against Barcelona. So there was no reason for Abde to be irresponsible and lose the ball in that area of the pitch. You had so many players that were up top, and you knew, right, Abde, once he knew that once he does lose the ball, Real Madrid were going to immediately counterattack. There were so many players up top that put Barcelona in a very delicate situation. So if the opportunity is not there, then don't force it. As for Dembele, of course, I'm going to give you guys the most definitive one. This is why I do say that Real Madrid studied Dembele so well. Like in the previous video on that post-match review, Real Madrid gave Dembele very tight spaces, and when you give Dembele tight spaces, he is going to lose the ball, because Dembele is not that type of player, and that is okay. Like, some wingers are just meant to be in certain environments. Real Madrid wanted to give Dembele the worst environment, which was to give him tight space, have him lose the ball, and then once they do have the ball, right, Real Madrid, they can go on and do the counter attack, and that is what they did after Dembele lost the ball here. That is how they scored the 3rd goal. In a situation like this, when Dembele does have the ball, I do not necessarily want to see him cut inside. This was a moment for him to run around that defensive line, because that is what he's really good at. Put the ball into space, make the cross, and center that ball to the box where he can find Ansu Fati and Memphis Depay, because they were ready to receive a cross, which is why they were there and positioned right next to Courtois. Now let's move on to key point number 2, and another great takeaway. Xavi Hernandez is going to really benefit from Pedri's return, because Pedri in this game against Real Madrid, he showed his importance. Every attack that Barcelona were starting, everything went through Pedri. His dribble, the way he passes, his shots, his first touch, all of that was going through Pedri, and he did that so well. Now, of course, he is not 100%. This is his first game back after like 2 or 3 months. He did look like he lacked rhythm, but even him at like 65% or 60%, he was still a very dangerous midfielder. And Pedri is only going to get better from here once he does reach 100%. Like, he is going to be a undisputed starter under Xavi's Barcelona, and I know that Xavi is going to use him greatly. So seeing a midfield right now, I do believe that the main midfield that we are going to be seeing for the next 5 months, it is going to be Xavi, Pedri, and Busquets. Maybe down the line we could see a midfield of Xavi, Pedri, and Nico. Nico is a great central defensive midfielder, someone who can hold the ball, protect the ball, position himself very well. And then we can also see another midfield of Frankie, Pedri, and Nico Gonzalez as the main pivot. There is so many choices, but one thing is very clear: Pedri is going to be a undisputed starter for Xavi's Barcelona. His intelligence is just something that you cannot match, and it resembles what Barcelona is. If we look at this video here, this is a perfect example on what Pedri does like to do and how he really does like to use his mind over anything to outsmart the opposition. You can see that Pedri runs into space because he finds the space. He runs between the center back and the fullback. He receives the ball in that space, and then he actually pulls a player away from Dembele. And the moment Pedri sees that and he receives the ball, he passes it back towards Dembele, puts Dembele in a great position to shoot, but only for him to like shoot it out wide. But this again is a great example on what Pedri could do and his off the ball movement and how he does set up other players. He is one of the great team members in Barcelona, so he is always thinking 2 steps ahead, and doing this at the age of 19, that is very impressive, my friends. Now let's move on towards point number 3, and that is Xavi Hernandez's Barcelona is only missing a striker. They are 1 window away to really become one of the best teams, if not probably the best team in the world. I do think that that one window they should really capitalize off bringing in a great world-class striker. And I'm going to paint you guys a picture to show you guys exactly what I do mean and what I'm trying to tell you guys here in key point number 3. Luke de Jong has been one of the most leveled up players in the past few weeks. Like, he scored against Real Madrid. The fact that he scored in a important match like this is something that we have to talk about, because it does say here, according to Opta Jose, since arriving in Spain, Luke de Jong has scored in 3 straight games in all competitions for the first time, and he is one of the 5 La Liga players to have scored the most goals in 2022 in all competitions, which is a total of 3. So Luke de Jong right now is clearly in great form, and I do think that one of the reasons why Luke de Jong has really stepped up his game is because he knew the moment he was linked to Cadiz, he knew that Barcelona wanted to let him go, and Luke de Jong was like, okay, I'm not going to leave Barcelona after 2 or 3 months. I'm not going to show the world that the only reason why I came to Barcelona, it was because of Ronald Koeman. I want to be here and I want to show everyone that I am still a great striker. And I do think that that is one of his greatest motives today and is the reason why he has been performing in this way. And the fact that Luke de Jong, right, was able to listen to Xavi and his orders and being taught well by Xavi on how to position himself inside the box to always look for those goal scoring opportunities and find those goals easily within the first like 20 to 25 minutes of a game, it shows you that Luke de Jong is able to accustom his game to whatever Xavi is demanding. Not many strikers can do that. And so the reason why I want to give you guys this backstory and this context is because of this. Can you imagine what Xavi Hernandez can do when he actually does have a world-class striker like Erling Haaland? Can you imagine just how dangerous and how many goals Haaland can score with FC Barcelona if he were to come during a transfer window? Like, if he can, like if Luke de Jong can score 3 goals in a row, what could Erling Haaland do? Because it is so clear that Xavi, with his team already, he has created everything he does need. The only thing that we need is fine-tuning. Like, we have a solid defense, we have a very creative and mobile midfield, we have wide, high work rate wingers like Dembele, Ansu Fati, Abde, and many more. We have a very decent striker, which is why I do say, imagine once we do add more emphasis towards the striker position and work around how to strengthen that position, that team, right, Barcelona, would become a very dominant team. And that missing piece, again, it is just so clear that the missing piece for this team, it is going to be Erling Haaland. And I hope that Erling Haaland does see this and he analyzes this Barcelona club, because again, Haaland has made it clear that whatever team he does want to go to, he does prioritize the sporting project. That is the most important. And if Barcelona and Xavi Hernandez can say, look at what we have been doing with Luke de Jong, look at how we have transformed him, we understand how to work a striker in this club and we can do the same thing for you. And I think that that is really going to attract Erling Haaland, because he's going to see that that Barcelona do understand how strikers should be operating within a team. So Barcelona, they are going to be getting the absolute best from whatever striker does come next, that next number 9, and not just that, but really maximize his potential. And hopefully, again, it is Erling Haaland and Joan Laporte that does the work that he needs to do, and alongside with Mateo Aleman. But that is where we currently do stand with Xavi's Barcelona. Again, I'm very optimistic. I even think that without a number 9 right now, without buying a new striker for the next like 9-10 months, we can still be very competitive. But there is no need to do that. This Barcelona team does deserve it all. We have the capabilities to do so, and hopefully we can see that very, very soon. But that is going to be wrapping up today's Barcelona daily news. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video.